Welcome back to BitCrazy, and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be giving you an update on MicroStrategy, ticker symbol MSTR. If you have been following me for the past few weeks, you will know that I called the bottom at this 230 level for MicroStrategy. Of course, I did tell you guys to leave room 200 in case we get there. I did mention in my last video that if we flip this level here at 218, we should see 350 if we can flip this level here at around 300, 310. So you can see here, guys, in 3 trading days, MicroStrategy has gone from 213 all the way back to 297. So it is starting to push that $300 mark again. So congrats if you win from this level here. You will be up really nicely, especially if you're bought on calls. If you bought some calls, of course, it will be sensible to start trimming. So essentially what I'm going to go through today is what I do expect next for MicroStrategy throughout this next week. So as you can see, guys, remember I showed you before the bearish headlines from MicroStrategy was trading at around $230. Now they are starting to come out with some bullish headlines. So this is a very nice article by The Block, and it mentions here Stratergy stock is essentially the altcoin of TradeFi, BitRspit says. And it goes on to say, as a quick take, Bitwise's head of Alpha Strategies said this week that MicroStrategy is more akin to altcoin behavior than TradeFi investors can find access to. And Stratergy stock has recently cooled off from its massive run-up, but is still up 75% over the past year. And then it goes on to mention, for several years, many traders use Stratergy stock as a sort of proxy for trading Bitcoin, given the company's substantial holdings. The company's Bitcoin treasury adoption has helped its stock surge 2,500% over the past 5 years, compared to a 1,500% appreciation in the price of Bitcoin. So essentially, what this is trying to say is that MicroStrategy is basically a leveraged Bitcoin. So if you were to buy MicroStrategy, you would return more than you would return in Bitcoin itself. And I guess that is true because if we look at the price action over the past few trading sessions, as you can see here, Bitcoin hasn't really done much. Of course, we are in this long in Bitcoin. We did catch the bottom here at around 78k. If these are trades that you do want to get into, the Discord is in the link below. So do check it out and join us. So yeah, you can see here how Bitcoin has basically been chopping around for the past few days. It will be easy to show you on the daily candles. So you can see Bitcoin is seeing around a 5% move, let's say. Yeah, a 5, 6, 7, 8% move. If we can confirm with the price range, that'll be great. So yeah, you can see here an 8% move. Whereas MicroStrategy, on the other hand, as you can see here, from 230 all the way to $297, you can see that is a nice 27% move right there. So you've got the 8% move from Bitcoin compared to the 27% move from MicroStrategy. So they are right in the sense in basically saying that MicroStrategy is basically a leveraged Bitcoin, and you are going to return more buying MicroStrategy at the moment than buying Bitcoin. So let's move on. And it says Jeff Park, head of Alpha Strategies at the crypto asset manager Bitwise, has a slightly different proxy analogy. And he mentions, I think of MicroStrategy as essentially the altcoin of TradeFi. So Park appeared earlier this week on the Castle Island Ventures podcast, wherein he discussed the stock's correlation to the crypto market. It's got this unique feature where it has volatility that looks a little bit different than Bitcoin, Park said, adding that Stratergy's return on a recent day was significantly higher than on Bitcoin's. And that's exactly what I was talking about. So you already see that MicroStrategy behaves a little bit differently, more akin to altcoin behavior than TradFi investors can find access to. And then Park said, the other unique property of Stratergy is that there's demand for it because some retail investors are still not allowed to buy a spot Bitcoin ETF. So essentially, some stockbrokers still aren't allowing people to buy stock Bitcoin. or spot Bitcoin, sorry. And in the UK, one of those includes Trading 212. So you are able to buy Bitcoin on Trading 212 at the moment. And in the UK, we've got all these regulations surrounding crypto. So essentially, it makes sense for these kind of people who don't have access to these kind of apps to buy Bitcoin to just buy MicroStrategy, which in turn has returned more and also follows Bitcoin's price action. And as they keep on buying more Bitcoin, the correlation with Bitcoin will always be there. And as you can see, MicroStrategy on the daily has been holding up a lot better than Bitcoin on the daily. And if it goes to the weekly here, if you look right here, you can see MicroStrategy has bounced really well from its weekly level. And of course, we can see here, Bitcoin hasn't yet bounced properly from its weekly level. And these were two weekly levels that I had discussed in previous videos, and why I think crypto wasn't done yet, and why this bull market, or whatever market we want to call it, wasn't done yet, and why I feel like we weren't going into a bear market straight away. So you could see the difference on these charts already. You can see the impulse of that weekly demand for MicroStrategy as opposed to Bitcoin. And he goes on to say, unbelievably, I believe there are still some brokerages that will not permit you to buy the BlackRock or Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, but they will let you buy MicroStrategy, he said. So there's going to be a demand for that from a structural perspective. And it goes on to say, Strategy's capital structure is most compelling. However, the part the strategists find most compelling for the institutional audience is how Strategy's capital structure is diverse enough that you can trade relative value in a thoughtful way to extract alpha that is more than just trading Bitcoin's directionality. And then it says MicroStrategy has fairly simple capital structure, but a lot of different instruments, at the very top being the converts. But now actually there's a preferred equity piece in between and above the common equity, Park said, referring to STRK, the firm's perpetual strike preferred stock it launched at the end of January. And it goes on to mention, earlier this week, Strategy said it's seeking to raise up to $21 billion via sales of 8% Series A perpetual strike preferred stock. And this comes in addition to the company's 21-21 plan, which targets a total capital raise of $42 billion in equity offerings and fixed income securities for Bitcoin acquisitions. And then he also says, I think there was a day last year when MicroStrategy stock volume exceeded the video on a daily basis, which was a historic thing. Park said, and the reason is the financialization of Bitcoin is the most interesting thing for most people to find exposure to. So there's essentially a lot of financialization around Bitcoin via MicroStrategy that has created a very interesting market. And he's not wrong about anything that he has mentioned in this article. As you can see, guys, from August to around November, you can see MicroStrategy pulled a nice 400% move. It went from $100 all the way to $500 right there. So a nice 5x move. Whereas in the same period, if you look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin went from around, we find August here, went from around 50K to 100K. So not a substantial increase as compared to MicroStrategy. So you would have 5 times your money buying MicroStrategy, whereas you would have doubled your money buying Bitcoin. So essentially, you can see where the value is in terms of MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin. So going forward, I do believe if you're looking to buy Bitcoin, it may also be sensible to buy some MicroStrategy on the side just to leverage those Bitcoin buys. Of course, it's not financial advice, but I'm just telling you what the chart is showing, and the chart is showing that MicroStrategy as a whole is outperforming Bitcoin in this very moment. And should we get that 280 retest and Bitcoin holds that level of 80K, I do believe it should be a good buy going forward. And I'm really eager to see where MicroStrategy does end up by the end of this year. It's been doing really well, it's held up really well, and I've been really impressed by the stock as opposed to its counterparts like Coinbase and Mara, and you've also got Riot Blockchain as well. So those ones are looking a bit dead at the moment. As you can see, MicroStrategy has taken that mind share and I do think it will outperform for the next weeks, months, and even years to come, as long as I keep my Bitcoin. So you can see here on the 10-hour, you can see the coin chart's not looking so great. If I go on a weekly, just to give you guys a time frame outlook, again, it's lost this key level at 230, and unless it reclaims that level, I don't think Coinbase is going to do that well in the longer run, as opposed to MicroStrategy. You've got Riot as well, same thing here. It's lost that key level at $10. So again, it's just been free fall ever since. You've got Marathon Patent as well, or Marathon Holdings, I should say, the new name. And again, guys, you can see here, failed to break above this level here and back down. We're sitting on the $20, which isn't good at all. And you've also got CleanSpark as well. So CleanSpark is another one I did like in the past. However, the price action isn't very telling. As you can see, again, failed to break above this level here at $20, and it's just been free fall ever since. And if you take a look at MicroStrategy, very healthy price action. Okay, so this should be your main focus, in my opinion, for the next few weeks to months. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for the latest design opportunities and market updates. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care.